Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I want you to hang on because we will have the dueling show introductions here. Just hang on. We'll do them a little bit later because Frank Barton is in studio. He's our Sultana expert. And we're going to talk a lot about what's going on over in West Memphis and the Marion area. And then, of course, John Gordon is here, and we're going to talk tiny houses. And we also got a winner from Trenton, Tennessee on the DU Junior Art Contest. And going to Washington to represent the state of Tennessee, 13-year-old young lady. And a lot of things going on at DU. If you have not been to Ducks Unlimited, folks, 40,000 cars drive down Walnut Grove every day and see the flag and don't know what's back behind that mound. And
that's right. People can come anytime they want.
Anytime, come in and
place,
look inside. I'm just throwing this out because I think it's one of our hidden gems that through the efforts of people like Billy Donovan and things like that so many years ago migrated down from Chicago and they all wore big old overcoats and out there and when they dug that first spade of dirt came out and thinks, man, what's going to be happening out here? And now this is 25.
It was 38, 31.
It was 91 or something like that.
It was 92 when they
92.
opened the doors. So now we're in the 31st year here in Memphis.
Amazing facility out there. And we got an amazing guy in the studio with us again this morning, David Beale, a local guy here, law enforcement for over 2 decades, doing the job that I really respect for what he does and what anybody that wears that uniform does. But David also has a heart for kids and fishing and things along that line. And, David, I wish you could explain to our listeners out there a little bit about your background, because we're going to utilize David on Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk fishing throughout the spring and summer. When we can get him in here when he's not kicking indoors, as he said, a lot of times like that. But tell our listeners out there, David, a little about your background.
Man, I sure appreciate it, Larry. Before I get started, I must say that you gentlemen inspire me.
Perspire or inspire?
Inspire.
Okay, all right.
I got a long way to go, but I'm praying. But, a little bit about my background, man. I grew up in a little North Memphis neighborhood.
Where?
Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Yeah,
okay.
Hollywood. So I started fishing because of my uncles. They from Greenwood, Mississippi. They brought the country to the city and never changed.
And they got you started.
And they got me started, man. And they would keep us out of trouble by taking us fishing with them.
Now, you say us. Now, you got brothers and sisters?
Cousins. I got
sisters,
cousins, but no brothers.
But you do have cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So did you cut your teeth on the Mississippi River or what little ponds? What?
Actually, I cut my teeth Mississippi River, the Wolf River, and the little ponds back in the woods that the rivers fill up, of course. So
yeah, okay.
I still just call that the river.
Right, yeah.
So that's basically where I cut my teeth, fishing.
Now, so who's your mentors? Those uncles? Did they get you started, or you got people you look up to? Who's helped you along the road here?
So my uncle started me.
Okay.
That was only pan fishing, and then they had some friends that were actually bass fishing back in the 70s.
Okay.
And so those guys were the ones, I was kind of looking up to as far as bass fishing.
Yes.
And those guys, those are the ones that spoiled me on the bass fishing, because my uncles was like, "You're not throwing a rod on my boat."
Oh, no. No.
This is cane pole.
This is cane pole, and do that now.
Yeah.
But you're into bass fishing now. Are there pros out there on the circuit that you look up to? I know Ish Monroe has been on this show several times, so that's a big name because. Let's face it, you are a minority.
Absolutely.
And you're wanting to get more minorities involved in this sport, right?
That's my whole goal.
And kids, too,
That's
right?
my whole goal, yes.
And why is that?
That's my passion. I think, looking back when I was growing up as a minority, seeing that you're getting yourself into something that's very creative,
yes,
and seeing that you can put your own self in something to make a big difference in the neighborhood, which is what I did.
Yeah.
And it kept me sane. I'm telling you, it was, from the stress that was, from the different schools I went to, from family-oriented things.
Yeah.
Fishing really kept me grounded.
It did.
It did.
Bass fishing, though.
Yes, bass fishing in particular.
And because that's a whole different world.
It is. And you got to have a skill level. People think that you can go out there and just fish and just catch it.
No.
It's definitely a skill.
So you're a square bill crankbait man.
Oh my God, I love square.
So tell me, explain that to the listeners.
Me and John's gonna have fun with square bills.
Get ready, John. We may have to take Frank along with you to keep an eye on you.
How about John and Jitty?
Yeah, take Jitty and John with you.
You want to roll with us, Frank?
So talk about that, David.
Yes, square bill crankbaits. One thing about what I love about a square bill crankbait, you can cover so much water so fast.
Yeah.
And you can fish it in almost any cover that you come to. Flat bank, brush, stumps, knees, weeds, grass. It's just an all-around, I'm going to catch some fish as long as I keep it in my hand type of bait. It builds your confidence quick, too.
But it didn't something that you just clicked like that. I mean, you have to work at this. This is a lot of people don't realize that these guys cast 1,000 times. I mean, they have injuries, they have wrist problems, they have shoulder problems, and things along there on their feet all the time. So
I think what that comes with is let's go. You mentioned wrist problems. Let's look at that real quick.
Yeah.
So back in the day, 30 years ago, you had pistol grip reels. Right?
You did, yeah.
Okay, so they have now, in the last 30 years, created a longer handle rod so that'll support from your forearm to your wrist.
Right.
Unlike Rick Clun and them back in the day, that's what they had. And so
amazing he's still fishing.
Oh, my – that
man is something else.
That guy right there,
it
got me started on crankbaits.
Yeah, that's
when I was a child.
And he's still going at it.
Oh, my God. Rick is a star, man.
Competitive. Have you ever met him?
I have never met Rick.
You need to meet
I'd love
Rick.
to meet
he would love to meet you. I mean, that's the kind of person that he is. So the square bill crank, we know that's your love.
Yes.
But you're self-taught.
Yes. So I got this other technique that I really love just as much as I love square bill crankbaits, is which I won on it a couple Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spill the beans. I know everybody.
Spill the beans. Here it comes. All right. Frank's ready.
Yeah. All right.
So is David.
It was a swim jig. So swim jig is underrated.
It is.
Swim jig is a big bass bait. Period.
So will you be using that at McKellar with John Gordon here? John
Gordon is going to get his shoulder knocked out of socket with that swim
jig. Don't do that. He's already done that before. You don't want that again. No, and everything. So,
yeah, man.
So have you braced your you young man? Better be ready. I mean, this guy's in shape over here. So
I think old Kai can hold his own. I mean, he's like 23, so
he's just
he can do it. Although he's from New York City, though, you never know.
He's from New York City?
Mm-hmm. That's where he grew up.
Has he ever thrown a square bill crankbait?
I don't think so. I think fly fishing has been really his deal. And,
you can't eat flies. I mean, they're just...
you can't. I know. It's pretty awful. But anyway, so we're going to put him on the square bill.
You are going to put him on the square bill, man.
That's
fly fisherman doing that, So, but... So did you go to Northside? Where did you go to school?
I actually went to Kingsbury.
You went to Kingsbury?
I did.
You were a Falcon? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's David Beale. He's in studio with us. You're going to be hearing more of David throughout the spring and summer, and if we can coach him in from his other job to be here and do it. But he will be involved in a DU project here that John Gordon has set up, and looking for. Now that will be on. When do you think? When can we expect something like that?
Well, we've kind of kept it open, but David's thoughts have been the late May time frame is really some of the best on McKellar. So that'll put editing and everything else. It'll be early June.
Early June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you
on the Ducks Unlimited YouTube channel.
Okay, but you go to ducks.org and take it too. You can't. This is
no,
entirely
this
different.
Is
you got to go to
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, go to YouTube and Look for
just
ducks.
look up DU Nation and
DU Nation.
It'll bring it all up.
Okay, I think it's a wonderful idea, and we appreciate David being in here. Let me tell you real quickly before we let David get out of here, and we're going to talk with some Frog Talks guys in just a minute here, that we have lined up here, and I know, sometimes I'm not allowed to use the word FISHING on this show, but that's when another RONWONG is on the show with us, So that's I remember one time a friend of mine was with my wife, and they ran into a BEAR, and my friend turned to my wife and spelled out BEAR, like the bear could not spell, and it was a bear, But anyway, we are on May, the first weekend in May, we are going to have the Classic champion and the Red Crest champion on Outdoors with Larry Ray. So just key it up. And our man Ron is he's in the field this week at Brush Piles Media Day up on Dale Hollow Lake, if he doesn't get blown away by the storms from last night and today. But all right, let's take a break. We'll let David get back to his real job, come back and talk a little Frog Talks. And Sultana's coming up. It's not Satana, it's Sultana coming up.
Santana
on Outdoors with Larry Ray.